Now on 4 News Now at 6, fire crews trying to increase containment and families starting to rebuild. We have the latest on the 2 major wildfires that have burned hundreds of homes in Spokane County.
Skies are clearing tonight for a warm, summery weekend ahead. I'll let you know what to expect in the first alert forecast. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
We begin with breaking news tonight near Airway Heights. This is happening right now. Brooks Road, southbound of Highway 2, closed right now after a motorcycle rider went down. This crash happened just about an hour ago. We have a new photo from Spokane County Fire District 10. They were the ones responding to this crash. The rider was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. And you can tell from that photo just how serious this crash was. Firefighters say Brooks Road southbound will be closed while investigators gather evidence and measurements of the crash scene. As we take a look at this video from last Friday, it has been 1 week since the Grave Fire ignited south of Medical Lake. Extremely dry and windy conditions allowing those flames to spread, sparking level 3 or get out now evacuation orders for the entire city of Medical Lake and the surrounding area. Most of those evacuation orders would remain in place until Monday. Dozens returning home to find nothing but ash and destruction.
As a whole, we lost our whole neighborhood.
So many people not losing hope this week, prepared for the long journey ahead.
We're wrestlers. We don't just roll over and die. The heck with that, man. We're going to put up a house right here again. What it'll be.
And thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. The Grave Fire was one of 2 major fires that began last Friday in Spokane County. The Oregon Road fire burning near Elk has destroyed more than 11,000 acres. And within just the last few hours, everyone can now return with evacuation levels being downgraded. This is the newest map on your screen. We just got into our newsroom. Just level 1 and 2 orders remain near Elk, Washington. Our Jordan Smith toured the area alongside fire crews today to see up close the impact that those flames left behind. Jordan?
Yeah, Kirsten, some great news late this afternoon to see that those evacuation levels had dropped, but just another important reminder that there's many families who don't have a home to return to. The lingering effects of this wildfire are going to be felt for years, and we got an up-close and personal tour of the damage that was left behind from these flames, and it was pretty humbling. The flames that torched more than 11,000 acres have scarred North Spokane County to be almost unrecognizable. A forest that was colored green, filled with life, now painted black, covered in ash and smoke. Fire crews say these trees all went up into flames at the same time, creating an inferno. Those flames soared 150 feet in the air above the tree line. Hand crews are putting in long hours, putting out hot spots. They're prepping for a change in weather that will bring warmer temperatures and stronger winds.
And we're standing on a road that's about 20 feet wide, but a little bit of wind and one ember across the road, and then you're back, back off to the races. So vitally important for doing this mop up and securing the edge.
Hand crews like these will easily put in 15-hour days, working to mitigate future fires. When flames first broke out, initial attack crews powered through several days at a time.
The initial attack crews, they worked for 3 days straight probably, just trying to take control of the fire and get people out of here.
It's a physically taxing job, working to preserve as many homes as you can. The destruction they witness also makes it incredibly emotional.
Day in and day out, being around burned homes and then also being away from your family and away from your home, and again, kind of putting yourself in their shoes, and it can definitely weigh on a person, when you're dealing with with these kind of events.
The never-ending work that these crews put in, certainly not lost on the community. And as we speak, fire crews are continuing to work and doing what they can to mitigate future risk for those fires, all of them keeping an eye on that potential change in the weather where we could heat up here in the next couple of days. We'll be keeping an eye on that moving forward. For now, in Deer Park tonight, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Jordan, thank you. The Spokane County Library District is sending their mobile library to Chattaroy to assist everyone impacted by the Oregon Road fire. The mobile library will be at Riverside High School starting Saturday. It will provide free access to Wi-Fi, computer and printing resources. To learn more about the library, including what times it will be open, look for this story on KXLY.com. Well, as Jordan was reporting, we are expecting another hot and sunny weekend with clouds slowly working their way out of our area. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker in the First Alert Weather Center.
Yes, those clouds are clearing, and we are going to be seeing some hazy sunshine this weekend. 4 things to know about your weather: the clearing skies, a warming trend that is going to take us into the 90s for at least a couple of days. Hazy at times, but our air quality has been in the moderate range. And then we have some rain coming next week that could come along with some gusty winds and thunderstorm activity. So a bit of a mixed blessing there. Here's a look at our satellite and radar right now as the last of some showers are moving out of Boundary County in North Idaho, and the clouds are clearing behind it. We'll have mostly clear skies overnight. Here's our forecast radar, and once those clouds clear, we are going to be staying clear right on through the weekend as high pressure takes over our weather pattern. It has been a cool few days across the inland Northwest, and it is 70 right now in Spokane. We're in the 60s from Bonners Ferry down through St. Mary's. Quite a bit warmer and drier once we head out into Moses Lake, Ritzville, Grand Coulee. It's 85 right now in Omak. In your evening planner, if you're heading out for some Friday night fun, I would grab a sweater to go along with me, maybe a sweatshirt, as we'll have clear skies, light winds, but temperatures will be in the 60s, dropping into the mid 60s by 11 o'clock tonight. A cool Saturday morning, but then a warm weekend ahead. I'll tell you all about it in just a few minutes. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. The Gray Fire has burned more than 10,000 acres and is now 68% contained. With all level 3 evacuations now lifted, all families are allowed back in their neighborhoods. Firefighters have been working tirelessly in the heat, smoke, winds, and rain around the clock to make the Medical Lake community safe again. Our Marissa Rio was in the fire zone today and has an inside look of what fire crews are dealing with.
The smell of smoke is really strong out here. There's fallen trees all around me. The crews behind me have been working overnight looking for hot spots. Brittle trees stand tall amongst destruction all throughout Medical Lake. Pockets of smoke rise from the ground as fire crews work diligently to put them out. One firefighter finds buried wood that has fire on it. They expose it so the flame can burn out, then cool down. This is what crews have been doing around the clock to prevent flare-ups.
There was a crown fire, so one of the more intense fires that moved through here. These trees were going to die and fall over, creating a hazard. So we had specialized falling crews that came through and cut these trees down to mitigate the hazard so that firefighters could work safely around them at first, and then also power lines could be reinstalled, and then it'd be safer for the public too.
The Gray Fire is still an active fire. Fire officials ask that people are aware of the risks. Only come into the fire zone if you absolutely have to.
Some of these trees are not stable and can fall. They can drop limbs, and that can cause some really bad injuries. So just it would be important for the public when they come in to be very aware of their surroundings and to stay out of the way of crews.
The fire information officer says not everything that's smoking is necessarily a threat. If it's surrounded by black, it's unlikely it will create more fire. He says crews are confident that they will have full containment within the next few days. Reporting in Medical Lake, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
As hard as the Gray and Oregon Road fires have been on homeowners and first responders, the flames are also pushing local wildlife into different areas. Take a look at these new photos released from WashDOT today. A crew working on a radio site near Highway 2 crossed paths with these bear cubs. Wildfires often cause stress for wildlife, and they can end up in our backyards. So the experts say stay alert on roads near wooded areas and don't litter, because that can draw wildlife toward the road in search of food. Well, we are still in peak wildfire season here in the inland Northwest. You want to make sure that you and your family are prepared just in case you need to evacuate. Here's what the organization Ready for Wildfire says you should have in an emergency go bag. Things like a first aid kit, prescription medications, a change of clothes, copies of your important documents. For even more tips on how to prepare in case you and your family need to evacuate, head to KXLY.com/firewatch. Washington State Athletics a step closer to joining a new conference. The latest details from WSU's meeting with the Mountain West next in sports.
For News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Saving you green.
You could win $10,000 cash. Mr. Casino Hotel in Chewelah already gave one winner $10,000 cash. On Saturday, August 26th, one more lucky grand prize winner will receive $10,000 cash. Will it be you? Drawings start at 6 p.m. Play your favorite games and earn entries to win. Mr. Casino Hotel is the place that treats you right. Learn more at MrQuad.com.
There's something unusual about doing business with Idaho Central Credit Union. It's not something you can put your finger on. It's not something you can copy and mass produce. It's just the Idaho way. And that's the way we partner with your business. Welcome to Business Unusual, where how you do business is how we do business. Idaho Central Credit Union. Your business is our purpose.
Is the heat unbearable? Don't sweat it. Call Bill's Heating and AC, the area's ultimate cooling experts. Experience the highest efficiencies with top quality equipment that will keep you cool while saving on energy costs. And get it all with the lowest price guarantee. Trust the largest and most reliable HVAC company in the area with over 2,000 five-star reviews. Call Bill's Heating and AC to beat the heat and schedule your free estimate today.
Farming has always been a crucial part of the inland Northwest. Syngenta is proud to bring you a tribute for our farmers.
Farmers take pride in producing the highest quality food possible. They work tirelessly despite the conditions each and every year to provide food, fiber, and fuel for the world through sustainable practices.
At Syngenta, we want to say thank you to all farmers for working together to adopt new technologies to enhance production.
Recognizing the backbone of our economy, a tribute for our farmers. Brought to you by Syngenta.
The last chance to see your Spokane Indians this season at Avista Stadium is August 29th through September 3rd. Highlights of the homestand include Friday, September 1st, Armed Forces Appreciation and Fireworks presented by Windermere Real Estate. Saturday, September 2nd, U.S. Foods Fireworks Night. And Sunday, September 3rd is AAA Washington's season finale and fireworks spectacular. For tickets and game times, go to SpokaneIndians.com.
Washington State is one step closer to finding a match. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minenson. Washington State is the eligible bachelor courting other conferences to see if they'd be the right fit for a long-term relationship. The first date went with the Mountain West. Representatives from the Mountain West Conference traveled to Pullman to meet with Washington State to talk about adding WSU to the conference. The Mountain West said they'd welcome Washington State with open arms. WSU Athletics has been looking for a new home since the Pac-12 dissolved a few weeks ago. Members of the American Athletic Conference are scheduled to meet with Washington State for their second date next week. Gonzaga basketball now knows its path to winning another conference championship. The WCC has released its schedule. Conference play will start on January 4th for the Bulldogs against Pepperdine. Other notable matchups include February 3rd at home against St. Mary's. That's always a huge rivalry game. The Bulldogs then end conference play against St. Mary's on the road on March 2nd. Here's a full look at the conference schedule for the Bulldogs. No BYU on the schedule this year. They left the WCC to join the Big 12 this season. Gonzaga has shared or outright won the WCC title for 11 straight seasons. Gonzaga women's basketball opens up conference play on the road on January 4th against Portland. That's a rematch of last season's WCC tournament championship game. The Bulldogs return to Spokane for their conference opener against Santa Clara on January 11th. And here is the
the full women's basketball conference schedule. The Bulldogs have won 17 of the last 19 WCC championships. And high school football is underway in our area. A number of Idaho teams are in action tonight, including Coeur d'Alene High School. Lake City is also on the field tonight. They're taking on Lakeland, and Sandpoint is hosting Post Falls. Here's a look at the schedule for some of the notable games tonight. All of these games kick off at 7 o'clock. Friday Night Sports Extra doesn't start until next week, but tune in tonight for a special early season preview of what to expect for the show this season. We'll have all these highlights and top plays from these games on Nightside at 11. And we are launching a sports newsletter called The Playbook every Monday starting next week. I'll give you an inside look at Gonzaga, Washington State, and the big sports topics of today. This will include stories and a little perspective from on and off the field of play. You could sign up for The Playbook. Just head over to the sports page on KXLY.com. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Thank you, Julian. I will sign up for the Playbook. 66 is our air quality right now. We are in the moderate range. If you're out at a football game this evening, we should be in pretty good shape with our air quality. We've got some hot weather coming for the weekend. I'll tell you how hot it's going to get after the break.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by STCU, here for good.
I know this looks like a summer blockbuster, but this is a Nissan sales event ahead.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select road trims.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
Things are so awesome since my family got a rewards-earning Kasasa checking account from Canopy Credit Union, earning 4.07% annual percentage yield on up to $25K. Means we get up to $84 deposited right into our account every month. You know what that means? More toys, more playtime, more fun. Woohoo! Canopy is putting treats back in the budget. Learn more at canopycu.com. Limits and conditions apply.
The Labor Day mattress savings are kicking off this week at Walker's Furniture. And this year, Walker's is offering some of the biggest discounts they've ever offered on America's favorite brands like Serta and Beauty Rest mattresses. Plus, 5 years no-interest financing was brought in with no money down and no minimum purchase needed. So you can start sleeping better and pay for it later with no money down. Making it the perfect time to improve your sleep for less. On now this week at Walker's.
The new double pepperoni crazy crust pizza is so nice, we pepperonied it twice. With classic and old world pepperoni, sprinkled with toasted cheeses and garlic parm crust you've gotta see in slow-mo. Available for $8.99 only at Little Caesars.
Pizza. I know this looks like a summer blockbuster, but this is a Nissan sales event ahead.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select road trims.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
Next ET, we're in Wyoming with Nick Carter opening up about his brother Aaron's death for the first time.
I don't think we'll ever really get over it.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. 4 News Now Fire Watch coverage.
That fire has grown exponentially.
With resources on TV, online, and on the go with the 4 News Now app. Fire Watch coverage to keep you safe. That's what we mean when we say expect more on 4 News Now.
Skies are clearing this evening. The clear skies haven't quite made it to Coeur d'Alene yet, where you could still see some puddles on I-90 there at 65 degrees and overcast. But look at the beautiful sky. Looking to the southwest over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, just a few clouds remaining, 70 degrees currently, but we'll be in the 60s very shortly. Air quality across the entire region in the moderate range, not too bad considering where we've been and the fires burning around the region. We should stay in the moderate range through the weekend. For the most part, you'll still see a haze on the horizon, but take a look at our smoke forecast going through Friday night and into Saturday morning. Winds are generally light, so we're not going to be transporting a lot of smoke into the region. We are going to be stuck with the smoke that we have, however, and that's why we will continue to see that haze. 54 for an overnight low tonight with mostly clear skies, light winds. Tomorrow, hazy sunshine and a high temperature up at 89 degrees. Just a little bit of a breeze out of the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Zoomed way out on our weather map to show you the area of low pressure that is going to be the star of the show over the next several days. Right now, it is barely moving and is basically going to stay right where it is through Sunday as we go through the weekend here. It's creating that southwesterly flow. We've got a ridge of high pressure, so it is going to be a hot and sunny weekend. This area of low pressure, however, is going to start moving inland as we get into next week, and that is going to bring about some dramatic changes. Take a look at our temperature trend over the next 7 days. That is quite a drop from 96 degrees on Monday to 72 on Wednesday, and rarely do we have a drop of this kind without some sort of drama to go along with it. Showers, thunderstorms, the potential for some strong or severe thunderstorms, which we will be looking very closely at as we get into the weekend and into early next week, and with hopefully get some good wetting rains along with that drop in temperatures and that system moving onshore. Tomorrow morning, we'll start the day off in the 50s and even some 40s around the region. A cool start, but it will not stay cool for long. We're up in the 80s and 90s around the region. 94 in Grand Coulee, 99 in Lewiston. We'll be close to 90 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And then we're into the 90s Sunday. Monday, a high of 96. Then that system starts moving in. Monday night is when our first chance of showers arrives into Tuesday and Wednesday with a good chance of rain that may linger through Wednesday. Nice drop in our temperatures back down to average. I say average. By this time next week, our average high is only 79 as we get closer to fall. Kirsten.
Yep, inching closer, every bit counts. Well, thank you, Chris. Among the scenes that we have seen in the last week, so much destruction from the wildfires in Spokane County. We've also seen glimpses of nature's terrifying power. What you're looking at from last weekend on the fire lines of the Oregon Road fire, right in the center of your screen is a swirling column of flames. One of the most dangerous and also mesmerizing things firefighters can witness on the fire lines. Our meteorologist Matt Gray is live in the First Alert Weather Center tonight to explain what we're seeing. Matt?
So this right behind me here, it looks kind of like a mini tornado made of fire, and well, that's pretty much what it is. It's called a fire whirl. This one was pretty small, but the thing is they can grow much, much larger and be much more dangerous. Fire whirls are caused by the fire interacting with rotating winds that are flowing towards the flames. Objects between where the wind is coming from and that fire creates a little spinning eddy of air behind them. Examples for smaller fire whirls, like the one you just saw from the Oregon Road fire, could be a building or a large rock or a tree. Sometimes even the fire itself and the difference between all that heat and the ground around it can be a source for rotation. Now, as this rotating air moves over the fire, that incredible heat from those flames takes that rotating air, it stretches it upwards, and it also tightens it up into a fast-moving, rotating vortex of fire. Small fire whirls, they usually stay in one spot, but larger ones can move significant distances and have strength that is comparable to tornadoes. In 2018, the National Weather Service estimated that a large fire whirl near Redding, California, get this, produced 143 mile-per-hour winds. That's an EF3 tornado. This is another tornado-sized fire whirl that I'm putting on your screen just now, and it happened just last week about 330 miles northwest of Spokane in a little place called Gold Bridge, British Columbia. Now, in this case, winds were blowing across the fire towards the lake that you see in the foreground of this video. It got that fire whirl started, and then the whirl itself carried out over the water once it got big enough. So really some incredible footage of what is a fairly rare event for them to get as big as you see behind me here. Thankfully, those large fire whirls, pretty rare. But even moderately sized ones can have a significant threat to firefighters' safety, and they will slow down the process of getting these fires under control.
Matt, thank you. Coming up, a sneak peek at Sacagawea Middle School before students step inside for the first time this fall. Plus, the Federal Reserve's new plan to fight inflation. That's next on 4 News Now at 6.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers use algorithms to treat every seller the same. We work with you personally. We Buy Ugly Houses customizes every purchase to every seller's needs. Call or click to sell quick.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
It goes like one margarita.
Bluebird in my heart. Baby, you're playing hard to forget. The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
Set summer in motion with the most fun-to-drive Honda vehicles yet. Like the Civic, the vehicle car and driver called more fun to drive than the competition. And the HR-V, with sleek exterior styling and smooth, responsive handling. This summer, chase fun in the sun with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Thursday, September 14th, mixed martial arts action returns when Coeur d'Alene Casino presents King of the Cage. Don't miss the high adrenaline, high octane action live cage side when heart, strength, and honor will be thrown on the line with the return of Tyler Cy John, Cameron Robinette, Jordan Curry, Israel Gonzalez, Theo Dukas, Sebastian Prangley, and much more. For tickets, visit ticketswest.com or call 800-523-2464.
Start living your life to the fullest by living simply in a tiny home from Portable Cedar Cabins. Less is truly more with all the amenities and comforts of a traditional home with a much smaller footprint. Each home is custom built and ready for you to move in and start enjoying the little things in life, including financial freedom. Homes from Portable Cedar Cabins are about half the price of the competition and about a quarter of the cost of a traditional home. Contact Portable Cedar Cabins today. Your worry-free tiny home is waiting for you just north of Spirit Lake, Idaho on Highway 41.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers use algorithms to treat every seller the same. We work with you personally. We Buy Ugly Houses customizes every purchase to every seller's needs. Call or click to sell quick.
4 News Now is brought to you by Falco's.
Around the nation, former President Donald Trump and his 18 co-defendants have all met today's deadline to turn themselves in. They are accused of trying to overturn the results of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. Mr. Trump telling Newsmax about his experience.
Terrible experience. I came in, I was treated very nicely, but it is what it is. I took a mugshot, which I never heard the words mugshot.
The former president insisting the case is politically motivated. And while some supporters of the 2024 Republican primary frontrunner agree, some independent voters are not convinced.
He's delusional. He's still saying that the election was fraudulent. There have been over 60 court cases that disprove that theory.
All 18 alleged co-conspirators are expected to return to Georgia in just a couple of weeks to be arraigned. Mortgage rates across the country are on the rise, and that's making some people more anxious about the economy. Interest rates could continue to rise with the head of the Federal Reserve talking about next steps to slow inflation. CNN's Laura Aguirre breaks down the Fed's remarks and how it could impact your budget.
It is the Fed's job to bring inflation down to our 2% goal, and we will do so.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell cut to the chase right out of the gate.
We are prepared to raise rates further if appropriate, and intend to hold policy at a restrictive level until we are confident that inflation is moving sustainably down toward our objective.
This forecast coming at the same time mortgage rates are soaring to a 22-year high. A 30-year fixed rate is now averaging 7.23%, up nearly 2 points over this same time last year, according to Freddie Mac. And despite the current pace of price increases slowing this summer, the Fed may not be ready to ease off the interest rate gas pedal.
Although inflation has moved down from its peak, a welcome development, it remains too high.
Chairman Powell says the big picture is what matters when tracking prices.
Core goods prices fell the last 2 months, but on a 12-month basis, core goods inflation remains well above its pre-pandemic level.
Also out Friday, the University of Michigan's monthly consumer sentiment survey, which measures Americans' attitudes about the economy. Despite a slight dip in consumer confidence between July and August, overall sentiment was still far better than last summer, when inflation peaked at over 9%.
We are navigating by the stars under cloudy skies. At upcoming meetings, we will assess our progress based on the totality of the data and the evolving outlook and risks.
Bottom line for now, brace for more interest rate bumps in the months ahead. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30, including giving you a sneak peek of the newly rebuilt Sacagawea Middle School. That's next on 4 News Now at 6.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Send them back to school looking and seeing their best. Get premium eyewear and A+ patient care from the experienced team at Shopko Optical. Cross off eye exams on your back-to-school checklist. Schedule their comprehensive exam today.
When you're looking to upgrade the look and energy efficiency of your home, no one does a better job at a better price than McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows. For over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has been on the cutting edge of the newest technologically advanced products sold. We're now offering triple pane windows, custom colored windows of your choice, and amazing mini blinds between the glass that will last a lifetime. At McVeigh Brothers, we're working for you.
It's lined in the air, out into right center field, going back to the back at the wall, it's gone!
The final homestand for your Spokane Indians at Avista Stadium is August 30th through September 4th. Highlights of the final weekend include Friday, September 2nd, Armed Forces Appreciation and Fireworks Night. Saturday, September 3rd, it's Storybook Princess Night. And Sunday, September 4th is the season finale and a fireworks spectacular. For tickets and game times, go to SpokaneIndians.com.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or get $6,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
A treacherous wildfire season ahead.
The next wildfire is not a question of if, it's a question of when.
4 News Now Fire Watch coverage, keeping you safe with resources on TV, online, and on the go with the 4 News Now app.
All the components are in place for a large fire.
That fire has grown exponentially.
The winds will bring more smoke into the region.
We've even seen flames from the distance we are.
Fire Watch coverage to keep you safe. That's what we mean when we say expect more on 4 News Now.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Within the last few hours, fire crews have dropped all level 3 evacuation orders for the Oregon Road fire burning near Elk. That means everyone can now return home. Our Jordan Smith is in Elk tonight. He has a firsthand tour of some of the damage left behind by this wildfire.
Well, this is one of the stops we made here on this tour today, and I want to show you guys something. You can see all these trees behind me burnt to a crisp. Fire crews tell us they all went up about the same time, and just as a reference point, they tell us that those flames were burning 100 to 150 feet above the tree line.
Since this fire began, wildland fire crews have been working virtually non-stop. The ones you see on your screen there average 15-hour days, sifting through the area, putting out hot spots, and clearing out the brush. Many fire crews, especially with the initial attack crews, witnessed families fleeing their homes and have seen those homes crumble. The physical toll this job takes is mirrored by the emotional impact.
You see it day in and day out, and you get a little callous to it because it's your job, but definitely the human side of things, you drive by there and you got to put yourself in their shoes. They've lost everything.
Fire crews continue to chip away at the flames, and the community remains grateful for their hard work and commitment to the people of Spokane County. In Elk tonight, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Live look of our downtown sky cam. Hazy, but the sun is starting to peek out from a day of clouds and very light rain. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to continue to clear tonight. A warming trend in our forecast will be up in the 80s and lower 90s tomorrow, even warmer on Sunday and Monday. Hazy at times from wildfire smoke, and we do have some rain coming next week. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. But first, here's a look at our satellite and radar, and the last of the clouds and showers moving off to the north and east. Just a few sprinkles over Boundary County, and those will not be around for long. We'll be clear overnight with that haze. Our air quality in general staying in the moderate range, may even drop into the good range at times, and we will be staying clear right on through Saturday. Our high temperatures today, we're running below average, only in the 70s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 77 in Bonners Ferry and Sandpoint. We did make it into the 80s in Ritzville, Grand Coulee, 85 today in Omak. We're cooling down quickly with those clear skies. We're in the 60s from Bonners Ferry down through St. Mary's, 70 degrees right now in Spokane. Tomorrow, expect blue skies, sunshine, haze on the horizon, high temperature of 89 degrees. Again, it's going to get even hotter before we bring in some cooler and wetter weather next week. I'll tell you all about that in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. An argument involving a man, his adult nephew, and teen niece escalated into a shooting in southwest Spokane overnight. It happened on South Assembly Road, south of Thorpe Road, late last night. Deputies say the 2 adult men started arguing, and then things got physical. They say a 17-year-old niece tried to break it up. Things only escalated from there. The uncle told investigators he grabbed a gun and shot his nephew, worried for his niece's safety. The niece and nephew were both taken to a hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The uncle and nephew went to jail on charges including assault and unlawful possession of a firearm. Well, there's a consumer alert for anyone who owns a newer Hyundai vehicle. Nearly 40,000 Elantra HEVs made from 2021 to 2023 are recalled for a software error that can cause the car to accelerate after the brake pedal is released. Hyundai says it will mail notification letters out by October 17th. Impacted customers can bring their vehicles to any Hyundai dealership to have the issue fixed for free. Sacagawea middle schoolers will be welcomed into a brand new building this coming school year. The rebuild offers a lot of open spaces and exposes students to a broader education experience. And our Vanessa Perez got a sneak peek of the upgrades.
Final touches are being added to Sacagawea Middle School, and excitement is growing as students will be coming into a brand new building in a little over a week. Learning at Sacagawea Middle School has just gone up to another level.
What they are seeing from the office is thrilling to them. They just can't believe it. There's big smiles everywhere.
Students will find learning and nutrition common areas. The purpose is for students to gather and gain important relationships.
As students are more engaged in their learning and in their school building, they do better. And so we're really excited about that.
Forsyth says the model is successful at the 2 other new middle schools. Academic learning neighborhoods allow for flexibility by grade or content level. It's enough space to fit 4 classrooms, a lab, and living room.
So that builds that supervision and that relationship with these 4 to 5 teachers. They'll have that closer relationship that, again, we think will help in the educational process.
Outside of common spaces, there are lots of flexible classrooms where subjects like world languages, art, computer science will be taught. A new building with more opportunity for students and teachers.
We are beyond excited. It was built exactly for us and with our input, so it's amazing. The excitement, the teachers they're here, they're setting up, they're working all hours of the night and until they tell us we have to go home.
A new building set to add more value to students' education. Reporting in Spokane, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
A 10-week-long construction project on the Maple Street Bridge is set to start on Sunday. The almost $5 million project involved removing about 3/4 of an inch of the current deck surface and replacing it with polyester concrete. Throughout the duration of the project, northbound only lanes will be fully closed overnight from 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. Sunday. Southbound lanes will be reduced to 1 lane during construction. To learn more about the project, look for this story on KXLY.com. School buses are starting to look and sound a lot different than from when I was in school. Electric buses are coming to schools all across the nation. And right now there are 500,000 school buses in the U.S. So far, school districts have received money for almost 6,000 electric alternatives. If all school buses become fully electric, though, it would reduce carbon emissions by 9 million tons. That's like taking 2 million cars right off the road, according to the World Resources Institute.
Electric school buses, even accounting for the current grid emissions, have half as much greenhouse gas emissions as any other type of bus on the road.
Those in favor of electric buses say it's not just about helping the planet. The EPA warns that kids' exposure to diesel exhaust can contribute to asthma. Spokane Public School students will be riding on new buses this year. While Zoom buses are not fully electric now, the company does plan to have an all-electric fleet by 2025. Find out how you can track where your kids are in real time on SPS Zoom buses. Look for this story on KXLY.com. 4 News Now. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Perfection Tire.
Did you just buy a new home and don't have a lot of extra cash on hand for furniture? Or are you upsizing your home and need to fill it? Consign Furniture in Liberty Lake can help by saving you thousands on decorating your home. With over 60,000 square feet of inventory, we have a variety of unique, budget-friendly items that will add value while saving you a ton of money. And the best part? You don't have to overspend. Buy here and save up to 70% off retail with countless designer name brand options to choose from. Consign Furniture, the smart way to buy, easy way to sell.
August 30th through September 4th, the 42nd Annual Pig Out in the Park returns to Riverfront Park in Spokane, Washington. Free admission, 64 food booths, 275 menu items, 4 adult beverage gardens, 107 free concerts on 4 stages. Headliners include Too Slim and the Tail Draggers, Samantha Fish featuring Jesse Dalton, Digital Underground, and BCDC's AC/DC Tribute. For a complete list of food booths and bands, go to pigoutinthepark.com. August 30th through September 4th, it's the 42nd Annual Pig Out in the Park. You'll never eat it all.
Don't let summer pass you by. Sale pricing is back at R&R RV. Yes, RVs are now priced below retail at R&R RV. Springdale, Cougar, Montana, Rockwood, and more. Don't wait weeks for other dealers. Every RV at R&R RV is prepped and ready for immediate delivery. Sale pricing is back at R&R RV. Shop now for the best selection and the lowest interest rates. R&R RV in Liberty Lake, North Spokane, and Lewiston, or online at rnrrv.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
Attention cancer victims who use the weed killer Roundup. A federal jury unanimously found that Monsanto's popular weed killer Roundup was a substantial factor in causing cancer. You may be entitled to financial compensation. If you or a loved one used Roundup weed killer and were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call the number on your screen now.
Call 1-800-339-3149.
The terrifying neighbor. Next, Inside Edition. What did this guy slip under the door of his neighbor's apartment? He's a brilliant chemistry student. Wait till you see what happened to the neighbors. Then, the husband and wife and their mission to visit every diner in their state. All 415 of them.
This is number 215 today.
Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Updated air quality index. They update at the bottom of the hour at 70. We have gone downhill just a little bit since the last hour, but still in the moderate range, and we should stay in the moderate range this weekend, but certainly worth monitoring considering where we are in the wildfire season. Our high temperature today, 74 degrees. 81 is our average high. Sunset coming up at 7:44. Here's a look at your weekend forecast. Expect hazy sunshine through the weekend with that wildfire smoke on the horizon, 89 for a high on Saturday. We're heading up to a high of 93 degrees on Sunday, more than 10 degrees above average. Not quite record territory, but certainly it is going to be a hot weekend, and it's going to stay hot into early next week before we see some rather dramatic changes in our weather pattern. I want to show you what is going on. We're starting off upper level winds at our current time, and we've got this area of low pressure, a cutoff low, sitting out here in the Pacific, and that is not going to move much for the next 48 hours. I'll go ahead and take you through Sunday evening, and that area of low pressure is barely going to move. Here's 6 o'clock on Sunday. High pressure in control, and it will stay with us for another day on Monday, and then that low is going to start moving in Monday night. Here's Tuesday morning. That's bringing up some moisture into the region. It's going to usher in cooler air and keep the chance of showers, possible thunderstorms, and the potential for some gusty winds right on through Wednesday. Certainly something that firefighters will be monitoring. We will be monitoring. It could be a mixed bag. The cool weather, welcome. The increase in relative humidity and possible showers, a good thing. Thunderstorms and gusty winds, though, could be a setback in terms of our fire weather. Here's how the temperatures are going to be impacted by that system. It is quite a drop. We are going to be at 89 tomorrow, up to 96 on Monday, and then all the way down to 72 on Wednesday before we start warming back up again. 81 heading into next weekend. This white line, this black line right here, is our average high. This time next week, our average high will only be 79 degrees. In the 70s, we're getting closer all the time to fall. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the 40s, 50s, few 60s on the map. A nice cool start to the day on Saturday before we warm up into the 90-degree range in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. A lot of 90s on the map, close to 100 in Lewiston, and it will be even hotter for Sunday. Mostly sunny skies on Monday with a high of 96. That system comes in overnight Monday into Tuesday with that chance of showers and thunderstorms, a good chance, 80% chance of rain. 72 on Wednesday with more rain before we dry out and warm up heading toward next weekend. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. New at 6:30, some big changes coming to the water park at Silverwood next year. The North Idaho theme park announcing a new section of the park called the Emerald Forest. The $15 million expansion will include the longest dueling water coaster in the U.S. The park will also be adding a new kids section that will have 8 different water slides to choose from. So much fun. You can see more of the changes coming on KXLY.com. Well, the first day of school, very close. Very, very close now. Parents know all across the inland Northwest, the weather is going to be perfect this weekend to enjoy the great outdoors. In this week's Air 4 Adventure, we're giving you a bird's eye view of one area in Coeur d'Alene that promises gorgeous views and fun for the whole family. Let's go for a ride on the Air 4 drone over Cougar Bay.
We're in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. John C. Pointner Memorial Wildlife Sanctuary out at Cougar Bay. We recently acquired 88.5 acres from the Nature Conservancy so that we can now have this entire area blocked in as public lands. You know, public access is very limited, and so us being able to provide that is a great opportunity for us to be able to do that. It's got wetlands, meadows, you can see the timbered hillsides, bird watching, picnicking. It's just a real natural environment. Foot trails out here. We've got about 2.2 miles of hiking trails.
It's a great place for day use, non-motorized trail opportunities and leisure experiences. Family-friendly trail, so very, very beginner. There are some steep inclines, but it's moderate. It's a great place. It's a great place to, you know, just close to town to get out and yeah, experiencing some of your BLM public lands. I really enjoy the viewing platform and just the perspective from up there, getting a look at Cougar Bay, the mouth of the Spokane River, and a little bit of the downtown city limits. Good place to, take your family and enjoy a little bit of Coeur d'Alene.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and the Accord, both with available hybrid powertrains, designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Has your dishwasher let you down lately?
Fred's has closeout Bosch dishwashers on sale. Fred's also has models you won't find at the box stores.
Bosch means quality and innovation. New Bosch dishwashers quietly deliver sparkling dishes.
With features like third rack and a new drying system that even dries plastic, Bosch raises the bar for dishwashers.
Fred's has more dishwashers in stock than you'll see anywhere. Come in and see us today.
Let's play feud. Name something that happens to a man that his ex-wife might say he had it coming.
That he goes bald, sorry.
The new double pepperoni Crazy Crust pizza is so nice, we pepperonied it twice. With classic and old world pepperoni, sprinkled with toasted cheeses and garlic parm crust you've got to see in slow-mo. Available for $8.99 only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Great Floors is rolling out the red carpet and celebrating over 50 years with store-wide discounts and savings, including instant savings on Karastan products designed to inspire beautiful living. Want to recreate your space? Our team of experts will help you find the perfect flooring and tile for every room, including a huge selection of Karastan carpet and LVP. We also offer 12-month financing. Visit our showroom today and celebrate life on Great Floors.
It's lined in the air out into right center field. Going back to the fence at the wall. It's gone!
The final homestand for your Spokane Indians at Avista Stadium is August 30th through September 4th. Highlights of the final weekend include Friday, September 2nd, Armed Forces Appreciation and Fireworks Night. Saturday, September 3rd, it's Storybook Princess Night. And Sunday, September 4th is the season finale and a fireworks spectacular. For tickets and game times, go to SpokaneIndians.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by End the Violence.
You have a chance to see summer blockbusters at a low price. This Sunday, more than 3,000 movie theaters nationwide are celebrating National Cinema Day with $4 movie tickets. That includes some AMC and Regal cinemas around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. It's a good chance, if you haven't already done it, to try out that Barbenheimer double feature. Well, has tipping gone too far? The screens are seemingly everywhere now. Coffee shops, sports stadiums, even self-service kiosks asking customers if they want to offer a tip. New at 6:30, CNN's Vanessa Yurkovich reports and how it's leading to some confusing moments at the checkout counter.
This screen is stressful for many.
Does the flip of the screen feel like a lot of pressure?
It does, and they give you options like 10, 15, 20, even with like Uber, Dash, and like Grubhub, all of it. Like everything's tip, tip, tip.
Do you think that tipping has gotten out of control?
Yes.
Tips are part of American culture, meant to be a thank you for good service. But today, more and more Americans are confronted with the question, would you like to add a tip?
It is tricky everywhere, right? Like if you're at a coffee shop, if you're at the hairstylist, if you're coming out of a taxi, like I don't know the rules then, and I often don't know what to tip.
A recent study found that in a high number of cases, participants who were presented with a tip screen had more negative emotions to the payment experience than those that didn't. And it wasn't even a real-world scenario.
Let's say you go to a coffee shop and all they do is just twist around the laptop. It's like, why am I tipping?
But the small group we spoke to said more often than not, they do end up tipping.
I put $1 or $2. I don't mind it. As long as it's not a lot, I'll just put it because I don't mind. This is at the end of the day, I'm helping out other people.
This is Provisions on State, a butcher shop. There's no table service, no cooking or serving. Yet, they'll ask you if you'd like to tip.
A flip screen in a butcher shop?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yes.
How'd you decide to do that?
These men and women have a knowledge base that they're sharing and taking care to share with the guests that come through the door. And they're not pressured to tip, but they want to because they're paying for a service provided.
Does anyone have any knife work I can grab?
Emily Mingrone owns the butcher shop and 2 restaurants in New Haven, Connecticut. At the restaurants, her front-of-house staff make the state's tipped minimum wage, $6.38 an hour. Tips bring them to $40 an hour on average. But the back-of-house staff make half that and aren't eligible for tips.
This movement to get rid of the tipped minimum wage, are you for it, against it?
I'm against it, and I think, frankly, it's kind of clueless.
8 states have abolished the tipped minimum wage, which in some is as low as $2.13 an hour. The National Restaurant Association is fighting against it, calling it a top issue.
That's money that's going to come out of my pocket, take away from the people that aren't getting tipped. I would need to raise my prices, which then causes pushback from the guests.
But the Group 1 Fair Wage is moving legislation and ballot measures to end the tipped minimum wage in 25 other states, including Illinois.
That's how I live, is with tips.
Destiny Fox works in 2 Chicago restaurants. She's saving up for school. She makes just above the state's tipped minimum wage, taking home $9.40 an hour. Tips add 80% to her take-home pay. Without it,
it wouldn't give me the means to live, to pay my bills, to eat, and to do the things that I'm planning on doing, school, and I mean, it's everything.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child swallowed household cleaner, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first to speak with medical professionals who can give you free personal advice anytime. Save the number, save a life.
This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, save thousands of dollars on the best selection of trucks and SUVs during the Big Deal event this week at both Cal locations in Airway Heights and Coeur d'Alene.
I always get excited when my inventory looks this good.
And that means it's the perfect time to trade up. Plus, this week, get top dollar for your trade-in, including a minimum trade offer. And delay payments until November 1st. Today through this Monday at both Cal locations.
The Labor Day savings are kicking off early this week at Walker's Furniture.
And that means some of the biggest discounts of the year as Walker's marks down all bedroom and living room furniture, as well as big savings on Serta and Beauty Rest mattresses. Plus, they brought in special 5 years no-interest financing with no money down and no minimum purchase, so you can get that furniture you want now and pay for it later.
This is one sale our regular customers wait all year for.
On now this week at Walker's.
Tina, the Tina Turner Musical. Tina Turner's triumphant story is live on stage in the mega hit musical direct from Broadway. Prepare to be ecstatically blown away. September 19th through 24th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. On sale now at BroadwaySpokane.com.
It's wildfire season, and 4 News Now First Alert weather is more important than ever.
Bone-dry vegetation, lightning strikes, sudden winds. With conditions so volatile and so much at stake, every second counts.
Wildfire warnings to evacuation orders to the all clear. Trust the 4 News Now First Alert weather team to keep you safe.
Alerting you first.
On air, online, and on the go with the 4 News Now app.
Protecting you and your family.
That's what we mean when we say expect more.
4 News Now is brought to you by River Ridge and Peters Hardware.
We are heating up for the weekend. 89 Saturday. We'll be in the 90s on Sunday with hazy sunshine. Then some big changes coming the middle of next week, including, hopefully, some rain. And I tell you, upper 80s and 90s this time of year where the sun sets so early, the nights are longer. It doesn't feel quite as blistering hot because you don't get that intense radiation from the sun, even though the air temperature is the same. So
yeah,
should be fine.
It takes a while to get to that high number, so you can enjoy the mornings and the evenings.
Enjoy your weekend.